Exercise 1. Double kettlebell clean and press. Now this is an obvious one to develop a lot of shoulder strength and size. Not only does this exercise feel incredibly satisfying to do, but it also targets elements of core stability and lower back stability, and a little bit of triceps as well. If you only have one kettlebell, you can still do this exercise just one side at a time. To perform the exercise, I like to start with a swing clean. I hike the kettlebells between my legs, exploding through the glutes and hips whilst keeping my elbows tucked into my body to bring the kettlebells up to my chest. Then I brace my core really tight and I use what's called a push press, where I bend the knees slightly, keeping my heels on the floor, and use this momentum to help push the kettlebells above my head, locking out my elbows at the top. I'm squeezing really hard with my grip throughout, and I'm exhaling as I get to the top. As you get stronger, you can stop using your legs for power and do a strict press. But as you can see, for the weight that I'm using, I'm not quite there yet. Exercise 2, double kettlebell front squat. This is perhaps another really obvious one. There's nothing quite like this exercise for developing quad and glute strength, plus a bit of shoulder stability, and again, lower back strength and core strength. Just like with the previous exercise, if you only have one kettlebell, that's absolutely fine. A goblet squat is a very close relative and still works the same muscles, just with slightly less load obviously. To do this exercise, you need to perform the clean as outlined in the clean and press example. Once the kettlebell is up at chest height, you can either rest them on top of your arms or bring them together and interlock your fingers, whatever's more comfortable. I tend to do both actually, I can't seem to decide which one I prefer. Now to stop the kettlebells falling forward as I descend, I make a real effort to keep my chest and head up. To do this, I take a deep breath before I squat down and squeeze my core really tight. I keep my knees tracking out as much as possible. At the bottom, I press through my heels and exhale slowly but forcefully to explode out of the hole, meaning powerfully exit the squat position. Exercise 3. Thrusters. If you're looking for an exercise to spike your heart rate and make you have that metallic taste right at the back of your throat, this is the one. It's full body muscle cardio. This particular movement is amazing for something that is referred to as capacity, which is a kind of mix of everything from aerobic fitness, anaerobic fitness, muscular endurance, and strength all together. And it puts an insane demand on your muscles, on your heart, on your lungs. And this is probably, at the moment, my favorite exercise to do. Full body, really brutal, and any workout that I do that includes this movement, I usually end up feeling pretty energized for the rest of the day. And you can do this with one kettlebell as well, either from the rack position or by holding the kettlebell with two hands. Exercise 4, weighted pull-ups. Getting away from kettlebell training a little bit here, but I think potentially this is an essential exercise for efficient muscle growth and total body strength. So at the moment I'm doing neutral grip pull-ups to target full back engagement and a bit of biceps, which never hurts. If you can't do a pull-up yet, you can start with kettlebell rows and work up to using resistance bands to help you. Then you can build up technique and reps with resistance bands before you try anything unassisted. Once you can do about 15 to 20 bodyweight pull-ups in a single set, then you can start progressing to weighted pull-ups. I'm currently using a 10 kilo dumbbell just between my legs to add a bit of extra weight, and I'm doing sets of about 8 to 10 pull-ups. And I've already noticed my strength in other areas and other parts of my training go up as well. Exercise 5, weighted dips. Again, staying away from kettlebells just for one more exercise. This is commonly referred to as the squat of the upper body. This will skyrocket your upper body strength, building chest, shoulders, and triceps, and will give you really good control over your body weight. I try to go full range of motion, meaning I go all the way down. However, when I first started, my shoulders were really weak and going too low felt very vulnerable. So if you're just starting on dips, try and use a shorter range of motion to protect your shoulders a bit more. I generally brace my core and lean slightly forward so that my chest is at a 45-degree angle to the ground. Take a big breath in, descend, and then explode upwards whilst inhaling sharply. You can use gymnastic rings like I'm using, or a dip station, or even just 2 chairs put back to back. And if you don't want to do dips, push-ups are the next best thing. Exercise number 6, swings. In my opinion, no program is complete without a healthy dose of swings, whether you want to do them 2-hand, 1-hand, or with 2 kettlebells. I've got entire videos talking about this one particular exercise because it is so good, so I'm not going to go into it today, but it works grip strength, lower back, hamstrings, cardio, all in one. And there's something called the what the hell effect, where doing swings has been known to improve your strength in almost every other lift that you do, and no one seems to know exactly why this is the case. I'm sure there is some research out there that can explain the mechanism, but I haven't done any for this video. Maybe I should do a whole video on the what the hell effect and actually try and figure out why it works so well. And I try and do swings at least 2 to 3 times per week in my workouts. And finally, exercise 7, Bulgarian split squats. So for the last couple of months, I'd got away from doing single leg movements, but I kind of missed doing them, and so they're back in the program now. Single leg movements are a really good addition to any program once you've got proficient at double leg movements like squats, weighted squats, front squats, because they obviously double the load that you use the same weight, but obviously half the muscles because you're using half the number of legs, but they also improve your balance and they work the stabilizing muscles all around the hip, all around the knee, and all around the ankle. So if you're in an older age range, you can do these just body weight and they're going to be a really, really good exercise to keep you younger for longer. Just be careful because I added these back in recently. I took it a little bit too far and then I couldn't take a shit for the next few days because my legs and glutes were so sore I could barely sit down. So these are really good for lower body strength, and the stronger your legs are, the longer you're likely to live. And not just that, but you're likely to have a higher quality of life long into older age. To do them, just place one leg forward and one leg elevated behind you, either on the sofa, a chair, a bench, or anything similar, with one weight in each hand, or you can just use body weight or just one weight. I try and keep as much weight as possible on the front foot as I descend, and then I push up through the heel. So those are my extremely simple, boring 7 exercises that I'm using. The key is not to change your exercises every 2 to 3 weeks. The key is to stick with the same exercises for as long as possible and just improve your ability to do them. So I hope that helps. Let me know what your experience is with these same exercises. Thank you for watching. See you next time.